guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is So. For today's video, I'm going to be filming my very loose February TBR. I say very loose because I am trying to prioritize mood reading over everything else, so that way I don't fall into slumps as much as I do if I try and force myself to read certain books. So these books are ones that currently I would really like to get to at some point soon. If I don't, and if I choose to pick up a different set of books, that is completely fine. So without further ado, I'm just gonna get straight on into it. So first of all, we have Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. If you watched my... oh, I haven't uploaded it yet. I've done a vlog recently where I read The Love Hypothesis and I absolutely loved that book. Like, spoiler alert for that vlog, I adored that book. And so I didn't want to go straight into another one, but I've read a few books since that and now I'm definitely ready to give this one a go. This one follows two scientists. Okay, so our main girl has been offered the lead on a neuroengineering project, but she has to co-lead with someone called Levi Ward, who is an attractive, but Levi made his feelings towards Bee very clear in grad school, arch enemy, who work best employed in their own galaxies far away. But when her equipment starts to go missing and the staff ignore her, Bee could swear she sees Levi softening into an ally. I just know I'm gonna love it. And also, he's giving big emo boy vibes, which is my vibe. Then we have my friendship book club book of February and we have gone with Gone Girl. We did a romance last month. We all decided to do something different, especially since romance is such the typical vibe to go with in February. But I am so excited to read Gone Girl. I love the movie, absolutely adore it. I think it's so clever and I know that a lot of people love the book. My one is a very tatty charity book find and it has the movie cover, which is disgusting, but nonetheless I'm very excited to get into it. It's actually quite thick, so it should take me a while to get through it. If you don't know, this follows Amy and Nick Dunn and their marriage is not a brilliant one. Basically, one day Amy goes missing and all the evidence kind of points to Nick, but you follow both of their perspectives and it's so good. If you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then I don't know what else I can say because it's like a thriller, so you don't want to give too much away. But yeah, I'm very excited to read this, to see how the book compares to the film and also to just get the Gone Girl vibes again. If I do like this, I am going to also read Sharp Objects and is it Dark Places? Also by Gillian Flynn? I think that's what they're called. Obviously I'm not going to read them this month, but if I like Gone Girl, then I'm definitely gonna seek out the other two. We then have Powerless by Lauren Roberts, which is a book I really wanted to get to in January, but my Throne of Glass reading kind of took over. Because I really wanted to try and finish the series before House of Flame and Shadow came out, which has not happened. I'm filming this on January 30th and it hasn't happened. I made it through the tandem reads, or I'm just about to finish the tandem reads for Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms, but I obviously have not got to Kingdom of Ash, so that isn't going to be finished by February at least. I don't know whether to read Kingdom of Ash before House of Flame and Shadow or not. I haven't decided yet, but from what I've seen from the people who have just cracked on and started reading House of Flame and Shadow, you don't necessarily need the Throne of Glass stuff, which is good to know. So this one was on my January, I didn't do an official January TBR, but I really wanted to get to this. It basically follows a world where there's the elites and the ordinaries, and the elites have powers that were gifted to them by the plague, and the ordinaries are ordinary and they get banished from the kingdom, and our main character is pretending to be an elite so that she doesn't get banished from the kingdom, but she gets thrown into a set of trials, I think. Yeah, the Purging Trials, a brutal competition showcasing the elite's powers. So I think that sounds really good. I love trials and stuff, and I have the audiobook for this, so I really wanted to get to it, but hopefully I get to it in February, and I think it's gonna be a high star read for me. I've seen a lot of people loving it as well. Next up is absolutely no surprise whatsoever. I don't know if I'm gonna get to it, but we have House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J Maas, which is the third installment in the Crescent City series. Definitely need to watch Becca from Becca in the Books recap videos on the first two books, because there was no way that I was going to reread those two chunky books. I mean, look how chunky this is. So I will watch those videos, and then yeah, I'm very excited to get into this world again. It's so good to be going into a new Sarah J Maas book. I mean, obviously I'm reading Throne of Glass for the first time, but I agree with like almost everyone and their mums when they say that Throne of Glass just reads differently to ACOTAR and Crescent City, and I adore ACOTAR. I've read it twice now, and I love Crescent City. It was definitely more of a harder read because it's more adult than young adult, but I enjoyed the world and the characters nonetheless. And I am enjoying Throne of Glass, but it definitely is different. I'm really excited to get into this. I don't know if I want to annotate it or not, because it's an exclusive edition, but only in the way that it has an extra like chapter at the end where it kind of shows you what they do like off page, which isn't that interesting to me. I thought it was gonna have like a signature or something, but so yeah, I might annotate it. I think I'll probably have to annotate it, to be honest, because there's no way, if there's loads of world building in this book again like the other two, there is no way I'm gonna remember all those details. But yeah, I'm very excited to be getting back into this world, back to Bryce and Hunt, and the end of the second one. Going into this one, that is what makes me so happy about this one. I honestly think this one is going to be such a faster read compared to the first two because of what happened in the last or the second and where we are in this book. I think that's going to make it a much faster read. We then have The Luminaries by Susan Dennard, which I think I did mention in the vlog that I am yet to upload. This is an Illumicrate exclusive. I am doing a project where I'm trying to read at least one subscription book a month, because I've developed a large collection of them and I have read hardly any of them. So with my Spotify audiobook hours, I have been using them to get through these. So this is my next one. It follows a family. Hemlock Falls isn't like other towns, but you won't find it on a map. Your phone won't work here, and the forest outside town might kill you. Winnie Wednesday wants nothing more than to join the Luminaries, the ancient order that protects Winnie's town and the rest of humanity from the monsters and nightmares that rise in the forest of Hemlock Falls every night. Ever since her father was exposed as a witch and a traitor, Winnie and her family have been shunned. But on her 60th birthday, she can take the deadly Luminary Hunter trials and prove herself true and loyal, and restore her family's good name, or die trying. But in order to survive, Winnie must enlist the help of one person who can train her, Jay Friday, resident bad boy and Winnie's ex-best friend. While Jay might be the most promising new hunter in Hemlock Falls, he also seems to know more about the nightmares of the forest than he should. Together, he and Winnie will discover a danger lurking in the forest no one in Hemlock Falls is prepared for. Not all monsters can be slain, and not all nightmares are confined to the dark. Doesn't that sound so good? I knew it sounded like a bit of me when I got it. I don't know why I just didn't pick it up, but I am so excited to read this book, and it's not even that long, really. And the font sizes in these subscription books tend to be quite big, with quite big margins, so... Oh my god, I didn't know they had this! How fun! It's got all the house sigils at the back, like Harry Potter houses. It's 304 pages, which isn't a lot, especially when I'm doing it on audiobook, so I'm very excited about that one. And then lastly on my list is Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I need to get in this vibe because I felt like I'm getting a bit of FOMO going on here because I'm like the last person to read it, and I've got the new cover from it being traditionally published, but I did get a fancy, I don't know if the others have it, but it's got this fancy like actual naked book. If you haven't heard of this book, which I will be very surprised if anyone has not heard of this book because it was all over YouTube and TikTok for so long. Basically, it follows a world that are like kind of run by vampires. Hello. There's 3 different types of vampires. Some of them have wings. And our main character is a human that was taken in by one of the vampire lords or kings or whatever he is. And he has kept her safe, but she has felt unsafe her entire life because she is a human living amongst these vampires. And there are some trials that happen that the winner of these trials gets a wish of their choosing granted by a god or goddess. which she's going to use for her freedom or like to keep her safe or something along those lines. I haven't read too much into it. And then there is also a love story. There is also like enemies to lovers type vibes, I think. Is it enemies to lovers? She makes an alliance with a mysterious rival. I'm assuming it's a rival in the trial, so it's like rival to lovers. There is no room for compassion in the Kajari and nothing more deadly than love. And I know I'm going to annotate this, so it's going to be a slower read, which I think is why I'm putting it off, because I'm trying to really get my reading amounts up a little bit so that if I do slump, I don't fall so far behind. But I'm very excited for this one. So here is our stack. Very chunky, many pages, and also quite a bit of variety, I'd say. We've got a contemporary romance, we've got a thriller, oh, and then the rest are romantasy or fantasy romance. So I can't help that, okay? I can't help that that's what I lean towards, but at least I've got some variety in there. Let me know what is on your TBR for February. Are you mood reading? Are you sticking to a strict plan this month? Do you have any new releases that you're really excited for? Just let me know what your plans are for this month. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. It really helps. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you leave so you don't miss the next video, which will be soon, hopefully. Bye guys!